Afternoon, everyone. I am Mike Asherbranner, your proud and humble leader of the Hounds of Business community. And we are always on Tuesday and Friday for the folks in Virginia, Richmond, Virginia, rolling with Mike King Biz on ESPN 106.1 RVA. Man, love Mike King, always pushing up his community. And now he's pushing up people internationally. All right. Partnerships like this, man, are amazing. Thank you, Mike King. So today, can't wait to get started. My background in finance, most people know that, right? Been spent 10 years as the redneck financial coach. And I am really excited to bring up our guest here in just a minute. Dr. Jeffrey Berger, the first man in my experience, right? First person that came to me with this kind of alternative finance and all these different things that made sense, wasn't trying to sell, and really educated me. Loved his style, loved his approach. So I wanted to share him because there's a lot of mystery or kind of hard to distinguish information regarding this kind of wheelhouse, guys. So I wanted to make sure I brought up the man himself. We had an open discussion and kind of cleared the air on some of this. So without further ado, thank you for joining. Oh my goodness, look at this. The comments are already popping. Guys, hounds, friends of the hounds, we appreciate you. Let's go ahead and roll that intro. The wonderful Jen Lynn in the background, and we'll let her roll that intro. Thank you for running the show.
Are you looking to grow your network and your net worth with other high-level, heart-centered professionals? Then grab a seat and your favorite beverage and join Mike Asherbranner, the Redneck Connector. It's time for the Hounds of Business Community Happy Hour.
All right. Hey, thank you all, friends of the hounds. Hey, Matthew Thomas, Royce Blake, obviously Jen Lynn. We got Jason and Homer and Michelle already piled in here. And all the folks on all the multiple streams, we appreciate you. Dr. Jeffrey Berger, how are you today? Looking sharp,
I'm
man.
I'm doing incredible, Mike. Thanks for having me on the show today. I'm excited.
Oh, my pleasure, man. It's a we've been working together and doing things for a year now, right? Time flies when
Yeah,
you're having fun.
it's coming up to a year. Absolutely.
Absolutely, man. It's been a pleasure. So let's start off. Christy, we see you. Thank you from Florida. Thank you so much for being here. And all the folks driving around Friday in Richmond, thank you for tuning in. All right. So Dr. Berger, I'm gonna get all formal now, right? So you've had a unique journey. All right.
Mm.
Here's how I frame it. You can clear the air and say eloquently what I'm about to say. This is how I see it. You're just a regular guy. You're doing things right. You're out there, and then just you sense, hey, something's off, right? Something's off with a lot of stuff in the wellness and holistic wellness. So tell the folks, just give us your story. You overcome health challenges, and you've seen a lot of challenges in the main areas of life, like finance, wellness, etc.
Right.
So give us that little story of your personal experience, how it shaped what you do today.
Sure. Thanks, Mike. So I was that typical baby boomer, grew up, went to college, went to find a job, worked corporate America for 27 years. And towards the last 5 years, I was just not happy. I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. And in 2015 of August, I left corporate America because of total burnout. And because I really wanted to do something that would make an impact on the world. When I left, because I was seriously thinking about that, I'm like, what I'm doing today is not going to get me what I want. So long and the short of it is I left corporate America and I was dealing with some health issues. My doctor wanted to put me onto a sixth medication. And I'm like, what's that all about? So I said no. Long and the short of it is I opted into exploring holistic options, getting out of the centralized medical system, hopping over to the the decentralized holistic arena. And in 9 months, I came off of 5 medications. I reversed my type 2 diabetes. I lost 60 pounds. I reduced stress, anxiety, and depression that was at a 10 plus for decades down to a level 1. That was September of 2019. And I've been great ever since. And my doctor just the end of last year, I'm going in for my annual checkup in January of 2025. But last year he said, whatever you're doing, keep doing what you're doing because you're in the best health you've ever been. So that
Nice.
led me into, leaving corporate America and really just focusing on holistic wellness and really understanding what's out there in the world that is making people sick. And we have a system that is broken, corrupt, and the food system, but the pharmaceutical system. And that's why I'm all about circumventing the system.
Yeah, I love that because you're like, I'm looking for answers from the traditional folks, right?
Yep.
Doctors or financial people and whatnot. And it just didn't work. Or, there
It,
had to be other things that can complement that, right? So I
yeah.
love that attitude. You were
Yeah. And
just a
the other,
guy trying to find answers. Go ahead.
exactly. And my doctor, I said, why do I have to go on to a sixth medication? And her response was, well, you're having problems with the other five, and you have to stay on medications for the rest of your life. And I was like, what? I said, you're leading me down the same path as my father: type 2 diabetes, leg amputation, heart disease. And unfortunately, he passed at 70 with 12 medications. And I'm going to be 70 this month in 18 days. So when I hear from my doctor, you're in the best health you've ever been, I'm not going down that path.
See, a lot of my family, man, we don't age like fine wine like you do. We kind of age like milk, right? So it takes intention. Yeah, I got to be intentional about it. I can't take it for granted. Um, but I love what you just said there. You said no, right? I don't want to go down this path, and you did something about it, man. Seek wisdom and really
Right.
understand. That's the calling card for the folks today. Nobody cares if you say yes or no. You should do that. But what we're encouraging folks to do is to know what the heck you're saying yes and no to, right? If something could be beneficial, change your life, figure it out before you make a decision, right? Because things happen, things change. On that note, let me ask you this. So you are a certified holistic wellness coach, right?
That is correct.
Okay. So how has that influenced your approach to now what you're into, right? In alternate finance and digital currency, digital real estate, those kind of things. And you have a TV
Yeah.
show for wellness too, right?
Yes, I do. I have a TV show on Mupo Entertainment. It's a syndicated TV series. I'm in season 6. I can't believe it. And it really started out first with physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. So my DBA is abundance and optimum wellness, where I believe we all should be living in abundance and optimum wellness, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. So I talked about everything except for finances. So the first 4 seasons was all about physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. And then in season 5, I brought in holistic financial fitness. And then I just launched season 6, which is holistic true wealth. So, with that being said, what really got me to really thinking about what I have been doing over the last couple of years, well, last 8 years, is that I stepped into my uncomfortable zone. We grow up to where we were led to believe you listen to what we say, listen to what and just listen, do, listen, do, listen, do, and be robots. And I didn't want to be a robot anymore. So that got me to thinking, well, wait a minute. And my finances, they suck. People are struggling today. People are losing money in the stock market, so forth and so on. So when I jumped into the holistic medical aspect of it, I thought, well, wait a minute. Maybe there's an opportunity from the financial side as well, because it's all about I say it's decentralization, and you have to open up your mind and your ideas, and whether they work for you or not, it's about getting information, getting informed, and then making an educated decision. Too many people are stuck in this mode. Well, they said that we should do this. Well, who's to say that that's right? So with that, it allowed me to really focus on this decentralization, and it's really taking the power and the control away from centralized systems, our broken and corrupt centralized systems, and bring it over to another platform where we have a little bit more control over it. And we manage that portfolio from a decentralized area. And of course, this is a brand new area, but it actually started in 2009, 2010 with Bitcoin, the blockchain technology. This is a new paradigm shift that is happening under our feet today. And people are just blind to it because we hear out in the media, don't buy crypto, don't buy Bitcoin, don't get involved, with that world. But while they're saying that, they're buying up everything underneath our feet and they're changing everything. So one day down the road, they'll come and say, guess what? We're all digital now. And this is what you have to follow. So it's really getting that, opening up your mind, getting comfortable being uncomfortable with getting new information. Because think about it, before the .com era, before computers, what did we have? Now we started with computers, Web 1. Then we went to Web 2. Now we're in Web 3, which is a whole big paradigm shift where this is really giving more accountability, transparency, security from a bigger perspective. And that's where we have found in this current day that people can go into the systems and modify them, and all kinds of corruption has been happening. And that's why we're in the situation that we are in today. So I encourage people, just open your minds. And here's the thing, if this is not for you, great. At least you got educated.
Yep. Yeah, and that's what draw me to you. So first of all, they're early pioneers. You're an early pioneer in this
Yeah.
strange new world. Like, and I love how you put the .com thing, right? Because if you're old as me, you can think back and go, wow, looking
Mm,
back, it was a wild ride to get to where we're at today at the dawn of the internet, really becoming mainstream. So I love what you said. I want folks out there to connect with this in the comments, on the radio, forging your own path, right? By asking
right.
the right questions. The doctor said, hey, this is what's going to happen. You said, no, I'm not going to accept that, right? People said, hey, just do this. That's what we all do. And you're that one member of the herd that went, I'm going to go off trail here. I love that. So since you're all about educating people with simple truth, go ahead and tell us. Explain the concept of digital real estate in those simple terms. Who people who don't know what this ideal is.
Yeah, so it's really easy, Mike. I think that people hear something new and they kind of step back and they throw up the walls to really understanding it. And I basically let people know that, look at Apple. All right. Well, first of all, people who have 401ks, they're investing in the stock market. So that is in the centralized system. So when you look at digital real estate, this is in the decentralized. And when you look at ownership of a piece of digital real estate, it's actually owning a piece of the property that is being developed. And then once that starts to be rented out or to facilitate through like a hotel or a resort, when money is coming in to bring income into that, then we get dividends from that. And it's no different than investing into something in the regular stock market when you're looking at those types of programs that you want to, look at diversifying your portfolio. So in essence, you have a digital, contract that is assigned to this specific piece of property, whether it's 1 square foot, 2 square feet. Some people can purchase an entire apartment. Some people can purchase an entire glamp. So there's different, ways to coming in to purchasing packages with a facility that we have broken ground in January for, and that's the beauty of it. We talk about people say, well, this you can't touch the digital currency. Well, yes, you can. I went to Dubai last year in August, and I went to the Paramount apartment. I went to the JVT apartments, and I touched those buildings. I saw those buildings. So I have purchased packages that are allocated to those specific pieces of properties and getting returns on them. And that's the idea, is the world is changing in the way that we're going to be doing business 3 to 5 to 10 years down the road as we speak. And the technology is happening right now. And it's not out there in the world. So, and that's the easiest way that I can explain that. But the other thing I do want to throw in here is that our ecosystem it's very diverse. And you take Apple. Apple is the core company, and then you got the iPad, the iPhone, the iPro, the Mac Pro, whatever. And they're developing all kinds of products and services around the Apple, which is the main company. Same thing with us. We have a main company with, I call the mother stock, and we're developing products and services around that mother stock that is going to drive up the value of those entities, whether it's a token, an NFT, or a coin. And these are all registered with appropriate authorities, and we're registered with government entities for doing business where we are doing business. And we are registered in the United States. So that's why I'm bringing it over into the United States.
Love it. Hey, I've got questions, but real quick, we got to give a shout out to Mike King Biz. You're watching
Yes.
Hounds of Business Presents. Yeah, Mike King is the man. 106.1 FM, ESPN RVA. Thank you all for tuning in on a Friday if you're driving around Richmond. And also the folks here, Hounds of Business, Friends of Hounds, they are bumping, man. They're excited to learn. It's educational, it's interesting stuff. When you're not bombarding people with marketing nonsense, it's really fun
Right.
how we can sit down and really understand this. So, and by the way, hounds of business. If you're a stray out there trying to grow your pack with grow your business, heart centered, high level professionals, man, that's where we hang out at. Hounds of business. You can catch us on YouTube, Hounds of Business. You could also catch us on LinkedIn or just shoot me a carrier pigeon, whatever. Just plug in. Don't do it alone. Uh, hey, if you lack the support or you want more or you lack the resources or want more, that's what we're about. All right. We put each other first. And on that note, hey, love having you in the pack, Dr. Jeffrey. This is why, man. You come with you bring the fire. You know what you're talking about and you educate. You're not selling, you're not convincing, persuading. You're just saying, hey, let's have a discussion. Imagine that. So, let me ask you this. I'm not the only one. So let's see, how do I phrase this? So in other words, when I hear you talk about this, it's not the Wild West, right? It's not just the Wild West and a mess and all just kind of people making stuff of it. There's a structure behind this, right? When it
Right.
comes to digital currency, there's a purpose, a structure, and you pull into this system. It's not this kind of mess that we kind of maybe think because we don't know any better, right? That's what I hear you saying. Like, look, this
Correct.
has purpose. It's just different. It's not fall under to traditional regulations as we know it, right? So let me ask you this: what role do you see digital currencies in general playing, right, in the future of real estate transactions? Where do you think we're going from this kind of newer startup phase?
So that's a great question, but let me just preface this with I'm all about providing. We're all in business. We want to do a sale. That's not my primary focus. My primary focus is to educate people. I want to provide them information, just like what happened to me with the holistic medical. I was, speaking with people in the industry, and they were guiding me along in a different path so I could learn. Same thing here, but we talk about real estate, digital currency. This is only one minute fraction of what we've got going on, and it's really about real world assets. And real world assets is a new term that's being used today, where you have something tangible. Back in the day with cryptocurrency, people were buying cryptocurrency, but you couldn't touch it. It was out there. But real world assets you can touch. And I kind of broke down. I wanted to bring this into the real estate tech aspect of it because there's other industries, and I think people will relate to this. But we talk about, so I'll say the real estate tech. It's about the prop tech platforms and smart homes and buildings and 3D printing and construction within that arena. And these are just a few examples. Then we have fintech, and all of these are using blockchain technology, something that is being developed very, very rapidly. You got fintech, the financial tech. We've got DeFi. It's a decentralization of finances. It's happening today. We've got AI. We've got the biometric authentication. Then we go to medtech. We've got personalized medicine, wearable health devices, robotic surgery. And then we go to ed tech. Ed tech is personalized learning, virtual and augmented reality, and blockchain technology. And I do want to do a plug because the company that I represent, we've been invited to Silicon Valley to introduce our educational metaverse platform, which is going to be showcased in the United States in Silicon Valley at the end of October. They've done this out in the East, very, very, very successful. So it's really about incorporating all of these ideas that are transitioning from a centralized to a decentralized platform and bringing the best of technology, the best of everything into the forefront. And real estate tech is, from my perspective, it's a platform that is for the masses. Because when I first got introduced to this, I'm like, I don't have money to invest in high-end hotel
Right.
resorts and luxury complex livings. But come to find out, you can come in with a package at $200, $500, $1,000, up to 50,000 plus. But you come into an ecosystem, you start learning, start slow. start to get educated about the technologies that are being developed and how they're going to change the world 3 to 5 to 10 years. Because real estate is not a get in, quick, get rich type of thing. It's a program where you're letting it grow, and 3 to 5 to 10 years. This industry will definitely change and give you more profit sooner than later because of how this industry is being rolled out.
Yeah, see, look, everybody's bumping. I love the comments, right? They're like, "Hey, I've been trying to learn about this a long time. I'm not the only one. Thank you for clearing the air, brushing away all the bull stuff, right? And really
And
making this stuff
yeah, and the other thing too, Mike, is I'm still learning. I'm only in this
right."
2 years, and there things are changing like dirty diapers. On a daily basis, things are changing. You can't keep up with everything, but one day at a time, just learn something, learn something, learn something, and then that will just really expand your base knowledge. And then you can make a decision of, you know what, this is where the future is. I better hop in because the early birds always get the biggest worms.
You're right, man, and, it's like AI, right? I mean,
Right.
now, you either get in or you catch up. I mean, and
Yep.
so, a again, it's not for everyone, and I love that. You're
Right.
honest with people. You're like, "Hey, maybe this ain't the best timing," but at
Right.
least they know about it. Here's how I view you. I go to the store on a Sunday, and there's somebody trying to give me a little piece of sausage on a toothpick. Right? Yeah, that's the whole point, right? "Hey, is this for you? Try it." Hey, I wanna know more, right? I
Right.
didn't intend to buy sausage when I walked in there, I just did it. Like, "Hey." And it's the sample aspect, the mentality. So on that note, let me ask you this, because I know people are asking this, they wanna know. What's the biggest myth when it comes to digital real estate, right, that you wanna clear the air on? What are some of the things that you just hear this, you're like, "My goodness, where did you hear that at?" Right? Like
Well, the myth is they're not educated. We need
right,
to get people to get educated because the myth is really around this decentralized blockchain technology, which so I would say 8 out of 10 people that I talk to say, "Well, I was told that blockchain technology isn't a good technology and we should stay away from it." Well, why is that? So it's about opening up your mind to what's outside of the mainstream, agenda and all of that to say, you know what, there's another world on the further right and on the further left. What's happening out there? And that is the key fact with this is, when it comes to debunking is because they're skeptical. I was skeptical, but I wasn't cynical, and it's about being well informed and debunking. And when people start really understanding the benefits of blockchain technology and how everything is going to eventually be driven through blockchain technology, I think that they're going to, gradually change their mind and be enlightened to the benefits of this type of platform.
and I didn't. I was look, guys, I didn't understand when you zoom out and talk about blockchain. I still don't understand much, but there was a guy who was using that technology. So folks in high like California, right? They have brush fires and stuff. Well, the insurance companies are going, well, we got to go because it's too much risk. But blockchain gives the power back to the people. Now, fire departments, surveys, they can say, hey, you're wrong. Here's the real data, right? So there's a lot of benefits to this,
Yeah.
and it's new, so it's scary. And here's how I look at it. And I love your to know about this, but the way I look at this is it's anybody could just say I'm a wellness coach or something, but we need to go to trusted sources, right? Because anybody can just say I'm an expert, and this is why we're having this discussion. It's a hey, here's someone who is humble, they get it, they're looking for it. So let me ask you this: you have upcoming webinar, all right? If people want to
Right.
get and dive in and get to know you and learn more about this, when is your webinar? What can they expect? What kind of things you're going to discuss with them? Give us the details.
Yeah, so I have scheduled webinars on a monthly basis. I have one this coming Saturday. And the purpose of the webinar is really to educate people about who are we, what are we doing, and why are we doing what we're doing. We're the first company to really tokenize real estate on the blockchain technology successfully. And we are growing by leaps and bounds in utilizing the new technology. So it's about getting educated, and the main purpose, again, is to provide through these webinars where I do group webinars, or you can also sign up for a private webinar with the QR code that you'll be showing in a few minutes. You can sign up for a private, because after that there's Q&A. And then we continue. If they need more information, I direct them to where they can get more information. I also have my wealth coach, who is a multimillionaire. Well, he became a multimillionaire at the age of 27 in real estate, traditional real estate. And I get people on board to talk with him. And he's built over a $10 million portfolio with this digital real estate. And he provides more insight from a traditional realtor, investor, a business. What is it? He did construction and contracting and managed big projects in Dubai. So he provides a better insight from that side of the coin that I can't, because I'm not a realtor. I was never a developer, but he can do that. So there's a lot of resources that I can direct people to get more informed, and then they can make a decision. And it doesn't have to be real estate. We do have other products and services that are in our ecosystem that is evolving, like the educational aspect that's being released very, very soon.
Wow. I told you time flies when we're having fun, man. I love it.
Yeah.
Thank you folks in the comments. We got one more question. Don't leave. But in the meantime, Jeffrey Berger, Dr. Jeffrey Berger. So the best place to find Dr. Jeffrey Berger, it's Bergr. All right. LinkedIn is where he spends most of his days. If you want to go on the Hounds of Business on YouTube, there's a QR code. You can scan it. Or you can just go to our page. We'll put the information up in the details. Let's ask his last question. We got to roll out of here. But all right, what's your advice for someone who's skeptical, right, about getting engaged in this, or I don't know if it's for me? What's the practical advice here? What's the baby step they should take
Yeah.
just to find
Yeah.
out?
No, it's a great question. So my advice is that, first of all, we are living in a world today where there is so much information out there. There's so much disinformation, and its bottom line is keeping your options open to getting educated. Step into that uncomfortable zone to get comfortable with learning new things, because that's where you grow. That's where you level up in your life, in your business, getting up to the next step, because the world is changing much faster than it was when I was in the 70s. We didn't have computers back then. So
Roller coaster.
you need to stay in touch, informed, and make a decision, an educated decision for yourself. But keeping that open mind, don't listen to other people. Go with your gut feeling. I go with the gut, brain, heart, that connection with the microbiome. Go with your gut feeling. It's like, I'm going to learn by myself, and then reach out to people that can direct me. And I'm here to direct people. I'm here to direct people because I was lost, and it's about finding the right people like you on LinkedIn. I found you to help me with my LinkedIn profile. And for those that are looking for me on LinkedIn, just look for the bald dude, Jeffrey E. Berger.
You got it. Hey, you're a good guy. I love talking to you. You're entertaining and educational as well. Folks, go out there if you're interested in learning more. Hey, there you go. Go find out. And I love the attitude. Remember, there was a point in time where microbiology didn't exist,
Mhm.
right? There's a point in time where the internet, kids, yes, it didn't exist. So, go figure it out. Go find out and do you. But this is what I like about it. Thank you for being, somebody we can rely on to give us the real and the honest. Always learning. Thank you, Dr. Jeffrey. Folks, go connect with Dr. Jeffrey E. Berger. Go learn more. He's always got great content, especially on LinkedIn. Folks in the comments of the Hounds, hey, thank you for showing up like no other. What you do is amazing. And anybody out there, all right, in Richmond, worldwide, hey, no more strays. Hey, welcome home. Hounds of Business. Don't build your business the hard way by your dadgum self. All right. Do it with other people who share your heart, your mindset. And together we're going to make a great impact. So thank you again, Mike King. You're the man. We'll see you next week. We got a special guest as usual. All right. So don't miss it. Same time, same channel, guys. Have a good one. Jen Lim, roll that outro, my friend. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank y'all for stopping by. Be sure to follow, share, and like, and send me a message if you had fun today. Y'all come back now.